I'm actually interested in this person. They happen to like anime. Instead of freaking them out with all the anime right away, oh, you guys are totally weird, you know, whatever. Titrating them and weaning them into it, so to speak, if that's even the right usage of the word wean, into it will help them get to know you, and then they'll be like, okay with it. Oh, this anime stuff's not so freaky. I'd rather enjoy it, you know. But just don't show them Berserk or something on the first.
Unless it's a new one, it's gonna be awesome. Kira.
I know it, but not on the first date.
Just gonna ease them into. Don't dress up like a bird.
Show him Akira openly.
I'm talking to you.
But I'm not suggesting that you hide what you're interested in. You want to be proud of it, but just there's a certain like I had a real hard time. One of my biggest issues, I had a real hard time with small talk, like not just dating, but in life. Hello, how are you? Where are you from? What do you do? It just drives me freaking crazy. I'm just like, I don't give a shit. Let's just be real. But after going to a lot of therapy, I learned that everybody's a nervous system as an organism, and we're all nervous. We don't know each other. There's a lot of safety things. So that stuff is layer one. It's like level 1. Hi, what's your name? Level 2. Where do you work? How, you know, and then this lets people's nervous systems acclimate to each other. You know what I'm saying? And that's also true with your interests, like anime, which is kind of a niche kind of thing. Anime is still not truly mainstream. It's kind of a niche thing, and there's a lot of people see Trekkies or other shows about conventions and think you're all nut jobs. But I find that anime people who love it are very intelligent, sensitive people with a lot of deep feelings, and sometimes people have bad backgrounds from childhood and whatnot, and they escape an anime or whatnot, and just as sensitive as the next person. So. So anyway, what I was saying is like, weaning is easing into it, taking it easy, slowing down. That's a great thing at your age, especially because it took me 20 years to figure that out. And clearly I'm not slow yet. I'm sorry, I'm killing you. I'm so sorry.
No, it's fine.
I just feel bad because I know I talk a lot.
That's fine.
That's another thing. Don't talk a lot today.
But another problem I had, and you can silently contemplate this, is I was last night complaining that I never meet people, and how difficult it is to meet people. The good people, the one you'll talk to. And my friend Nick looked at me and he goes, "When was the last time you actually went out?" And I actually thought about that, and I realized how much time do I actually spend in my apartment when I actually try to go out. And I know in our particular way of life, it's very difficult to get dressed, go out, go to the, if you're over 21, go to a bar, or go to a dance club if you're over 18, or go to a social event in the area. But that's very important. Getting yourself out there.
Going taking, you know what I find is a great way to, well I haven't done it a lot, but I've read people that have done this, a friend of mine did this, is take a dance class. Sometimes there's, learning how to dance. I know a couple people that got married meeting through dance classes. It's a controlled environment. There's a certain amount of physicality in terms of like getting to know someone, but it's controlled so it's not uncomfortable and you're with an instructor and yada yada yada. You meet lots of different people, lots of different men or women. Sometimes there's couples there, but a lot of times there's single people there. Next thing you know, you're at swing dancing, having a great time. Your endorphins are flooding because you're dancing like crazy and your heart's beating real fast. Next thing you know, you're in love. Ding! It's not that easy. It's not that easy. Different types of clubs, like you're talking, not just anime clubs. If you like reading a book club or any type of place where you can socialize and get to know people, and leading with respect. You always want to lead with respect. And if you're not being respected, make it clear. If you're not respecting me, I would like it if you would do that.
And it doesn't even have to be about relationships. Just getting out and forming bonds with other people, increases the. I don't know. It's easier when you start having to really talk to people. Even as friends, even if you don't start relationships, you become more educated in a way of reaction to people. Socializing.
Yeah, that's the way I would do it.
Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. I don't know, the best way is just go out and socialize with people. Just like, maybe go to a music store, randomly talk to people.
It is challenging though in Manhattan though. Like I see a bunch of attractive women on the train all the time, and it's really inappropriate to talk to them on the train. So I never do it. And even on the street, you just don't want to do that. You really have to like be in a Barnes and Noble and talking to somebody about a book or whatever.
I'm just so happy to be in the same section.
Yeah,
that shows you like similar things. Yeah.
Sure.
If I'm in the fantasy section, she's in the fantasy section. Hey, have you read Lord of the Rings?
Sure, and just make it about that. Don't even make it about her in terms of like liking her. Talk about the subject matter and see, get to know each other that way. You have to do it in layers. I noticed that I've met thousands, possibly hundreds of thousands of anime fans in my career, and with all loving kindness and respect. And this applies to me. Trust me. very nervous lot. You know, it's very, and usually it's because they're around me, but also I see them as like, okay, it's okay. And I know a lot of it comes from social anxiety, or maybe being an outcast in school, or not fitting in, but there's no reason to have any of that feeling. And it's good that anime is getting more and more mainstream because it's less and less of that BS. And it's just other people being douchebags and not accepting something that's different. And that's what humans like to do. But there's no reason to be mad at them for that, to say, hey, I'm a person too, this is my interest, And you might find, and here's what's interesting about relationships, we tend to be attracted to people who have both negative and positive characteristics of both of our caretakers. But aside from that, I've met couples who are like, the guy is a normal guy, and the girl's like, and he just loves them. He thinks it's so crazy and awesome that she's into this anime, and he's like, wow, this is a great world for me. And she loves his stability, his normalcy, the yin and yang of coming together, not opposites. You're not opposites. Opposites, I don't like the phrase opposites attract, because usually opposites just don't like each other. It's more like complementary features, or something that you're needing. I mean, like, if you like that sense of stability, because maybe your dad raised you, if you're a woman, in a way, and you always looked up to that sense of stability, you might find that very attractive in a male partner. And his mom was kind of wacky, maybe a hippie or something, and he likes the wackiness of dressing up in costume. And you come together, and it's this yin-yang thing that works really well. That's a really basic, simple, idea about that, but not being ashamed of what you are, who you are, and what you're interested in, that's got to be out the window. Because even if you don't express it, they'll feel it. And once they feel it, you're out of the game. If you're confident, man, you ever seen the short, bald guy or whatever with the hot woman and he's rich and, no offense, but I'm saying, but isn't he lovable and huggable? Don't you just love him?
That's a self.
Totally. What a jolly soul. I don't want to offend, but my point is this. I think you're totally cute. If I was gay, I'd totally do you. No. He's awesome.
You got it.
But my point is this: is that a lot of times it's about who they are. Sometimes it's about looks. Sometimes it's about complementary things. I mean, my ex-wife was like really, successful and business oriented. I felt like I needed that at the time.
I'm not sure.
And can we not talk loud? So that's okay.
I'm deaf. Sorry.
No, it's okay. So am I this year. I apologize. It's okay. I didn't know.
At least wait for the mic.
Yes. Yeah. So anyway, having that sense of confidence in that. I missed my point because I was laughing about my jolly friend here.
I mean, tell us more.
Do you see what I'm saying though about the complimentary thing? About that being an anime person could be very exciting to a normal person. It could be even erotic, actually. It could be. No, it could be. Yeah, it could be erotic.
I have some wrong thing is that anime has kind of really weird side of myself that I never thought I had.
But I agree as well. The person I told you about, the one I'm in a part of, the one I was dating for 6 years, he was anti-anime in every way, shape, or form. But in the same time, even though he wasn't anti in any way, shape, or form, he accepted that that was something I was interested in.
Admit it, you put on the costume. Oh, yeah.
Actually, I didn't. No. I had to play Sailor Moon and
It wasn't like, wow. No, he wasn't. No.
Clearly, the skirt wasn't short enough.
Oh, it was short enough.
Jeremy's always short enough.
But, and it was more of an understanding. I didn't have to feel like I was hiding myself, but I also understood that that wasn't something he was interested in. So, when he was at work, I would watch my anime, and when he was home, we would watch a movie together. It was all about compromise. As long as he wasn't restricting what I was interested in,
that's the key.
It was fine by me.
That's the key, yeah.
Yeah, so don't be in a relationship that automatically restricts you from watching anime. Just find a balance with this guy or girl or whatever.
Yeah. Have an interest. When I was a professional hornist, I had to practice 3 hours a day no matter what. I told my wife, I'm going to be in the other room practicing 3 or 4 hours a day, and I'm playing because I had gigs and I was working, and she had to put up with that. And luckily my lifestyle's a lot freer now as a voice actor. I don't have to sit in my room and do voices all the time, although I do that. I have a recording studio in my room. I'm getting. Oh, that's one thing I want to bring it to. By the way, I'm going to be a poster child here for therapy. I've spent over $30,000 on therapy, and it's radically changed my life. That's over like a 5 or 6 year period. I think even the most healthy, normal people need somebody other than just your mom or your dad or your best friend to talk to your problems about, and it can transform your life. I strongly recommend it. Another thing I recommend is exercise. And the reason I recommend this, I just read this really great book called Spark by John Rady, and he talks about how exercise can radically change the infrastructure of your brain, help ADHD, help OCD issues. Exercising a lot, because as modern humans, we only, even elite athletes, only burn 50% as many calories as our ancestors did. We're designed to move, so that can really help your like, if I were going to go on a date and I was nervous, I would exercise a whole bunch, or masturbate, before the date. Before the date, guys, I strongly recommend masturbating before dates. Because you don't want your sexuality, you don't want to be leading with your sexuality. So she's like all hot and she wears something, and I can't stand it when we do this. They're like that, but it's cute, and it's like delicious, and you're like, it's cute, it's cute. I can't stop thinking of it, you know. So releasing some chemicals before you show will let you make the date more about her. And just be honest with yourself. You're a man. And no, it's okay. It's just relax. It's okay. Don't really get upset. I have a mic and I can talk loud. What I'm saying is that not leading with that kind of. We all have hormones, and men especially young men. You know, a woman wants to be attractive, and sometimes women can construe conservative attractiveness with super hotness because of the way TV and movies program us. So you all of a sudden you're like, oh my god. You know, but if you exercise or do something to release some steam before you go on your date, you can be calm and relaxed. You won't say something nervous. You can make it about her, and you can be chill, and that's gonna let you get a second date. You know what I'm saying? If you're chill about it, and if you make it all about that, if it's obvious that you think she's smoking, she's gonna be turned off. Unless, well, she might not, but most of the time she does. So you know, there's a lot of the truth in a lot of those sex movies, like
There's something about Mary.
American Pie. There's some truth. There's comedy. There is some truth in some of those things, like that's really very funny. You know.
Yeah, but then there's some falsehoods like you should not do things like apple pie.
Yeah, I never thought about putting my finger in apple pie. I never thought about doing that. Look, sexuality, here's the deal. I'm open about sex and sexuality because to me it's like going to the bathroom. I'm like, oh, all my body's acceptable except, my business. It's shocking to me that, even centuries ago, people were like, oh, you're going to hell if you masturbate. Oh, you're going to blind. All this bullshit designed to control people. Now, there's a good thing about, sexual boundaries. You don't want to talk about sex or sexuality on the first, second, maybe the third date. There's boundaries about that. But as far as like being in a forum and talking about, and we all go to the bathroom, we all probably masturbate. Most of us have had sex, and if you haven't, wait. If you're under 25, no, have as much as you want. It's okay. Just use protection. Or you want to be protected, and you want to, there's a lot of diseases, and there's also pregnancy and all these other things. And we're all human beings here. We all have hormones and blood, and this guy has you have a question, Mr. Kane? Oh, okay.
You're just having innuendo.
Yeah, no, he didn't. No, he was getting excited with his cane. No, but then you see my point, that there's nothing to be ashamed about that. And guys, you got to think of your body as a machine. Like, okay, I know that if I, don't blow off some steam before I go, I'm not going to think anything about how hot she is, and I won't be able to talk. So do it. Just take care of that business before you go out. Unless you're going to have sex. It's
all about being open to yourself, especially with sexuality. I mean, yes, you're out the way, but if the girl is honestly interested about what kind of sexual orientation you are, or like what kind of sex you like, just talk openly about it.
If you're at that place, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You don't want to do it on the first date.
Not the first or second date. If they're like the fourth, fifth, or sixth date, then talk about it. Just be open about it. It doesn't have to be disgusting or weird or anything. Just.
I have a three sex rule about sex. Three sex rule. Here's my three sex
rule about sex.
Here's my 3 sex rule, and I've never had to use the rule, but this is one I have in place just in case. If you go out with somebody, and this is about sleeping with somebody too early. If you go out with somebody and you're going out and you end up sleeping together, blame it on hormones. If you do it again, it means you liked it the first time. If you do it a third time, you better have a discussion about whether or not you're in a relationship, because now it's getting serious. And I don't even recommend going 3 times. That's my oh my god, what's the third time? I've never had to use that. I've never had to worry about it. But I've heard of people that do it like, yeah, I went, we just slept together. I'm like, oh duh, you have hormones. And then they're like on the second day, oh, we did it again. I go, clearly you liked it. Yeah, on the third, I'm kind of confused. Well, maybe you should decide to have a talk about what is going on, because your sexuality can confuse you and fool you into thinking you're in something that's not real. And your biology is designed to do that because it wants you to have a baby. That's pretty much it. And once you understand that and accept that, you can go, I got time for sex later. Let's just get to know this person. Let's spend some time together talking, hanging out. Being in the same room without talking. You know, that's a really good one. Energetically feeling each other, just being in the same, we're walking in the park, just not saying. It's just an amazing thing. It can be extraordinary. And by the way, the last thing I want to say on this, and I know I'm talking way too much, is you can make love all day without having sex. You can, what I mean by that is, you know, holding hands in the park, walking, talking, looking at each other's eyes, whatever. That kind of connection brings things to your relationship later that can be, you know, very helpful as you move forward in your relationship. So that's what I'm going to say. And I guess I'm changing the
Actually, that is it. We're
wrapping up. Okay.
We're wrapping up. We're at 1 o'clock. I know it went quick, huh?
Is there any last minute questions or comments or anything?
Oh yeah, we're at 1. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
I have a panel at 1:30. I hope you all come.
Yeah. No, I don't know if I want to go to the panel or not.